What is up, my dudes? Today we've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going, and we're in the playoffs now. Finally, the regular season has ended, so there's going to be a few different setups now. This is the round of 32, so there's 21 teams. Most of the teams did end up getting buys this week. This is also from 2 weeks ago, so we're still playing on 7.21, and you'll notice it's a best of 3 now, so one of these teams have to win 2 games to progress to the next round, and sadly for one of these teams, they're gonna be eliminated after this match. So hopefully both teams play their best and bring their A game. We're gonna see some pretty good Dota, and so let's hop into the draft. Again, this is 7.21, so the older 7.21D. It's not the new patch. The rest of the playoffs will be being played on the new patch starting this weekend. So I think the rest of this tournament is going to be a little bit clowny. A lot of changes with the new Aghanim Scepters, but let's ignore that for the time being. So from Slark Puckenberg, they opened with a Drow Ranger pick. Drow was pretty fucking obnoxious. I'm glad she's gone from the meta, and the ValassiRaptors instantly responds with the DK. Not really sure if DK is really the right choice here, especially in this current patch where Drow, her marksmanship used to pierce all armor, but now only pierces base armor. So it's like whatever armor your hero starts with, plus the armor you get from agility. So Dragon Knight, the Dragon Blood gives you plus armor. So in the new patch, it do less damage, significantly less, especially with the level 20 double Dragon Breath, Dragon Blood talent. This draft is flying by right now. Jakiro for Slark Puckenberg and Grimstroke for ValassiRaptors. There's some cool stuff going on already. The double Dragon Tail is going to be a pretty fearsome stun combo to go up against. But right now they're kind of missing in catch. Dragon Knight can build a Blink if he wants to. It's usually Blink or Shadow Blade, but the Blink can feel a little bit underwhelming if you don't do well immediately. Then you don't get the extra stats from the Shadow Blade, and you feel like you're really far behind. Plus, there's no opportunity to build into a Silver Edge if that's something you actually end up needing. But in that case, you'd probably decide to build the Silver Edge regardless. And I just want to point out the ban. So Troll is a pretty common hero for Slark Puckenberg to play. They've played it a lot this season, had a lot of success. And Viper and Sand King. Sand King is definitely took over the meta during the Disneyland Major. Probably not going to see the NP Sand King combo opening. It's a bit too late for that from either team. Especially Jakiro is probably going to be the position 5 this game. And Doom banned out as well. Razor, Tide, and Bristle. Tide and Bristle not too commonly picked in the first phase. Maybe if you're the first pick team, you definitely need to deal with breakers with these 2 heroes, so maybe targeting your bans a little bit. They also need the Bristleback right now I think is just not a very good hero. He was really strong when everyone was defensive try laning, and even if you eventually got some levels, it's like it's fine, and then you can slowly take over the lane. But in dual lanes, I just don't feel Bristleback has that much impact. He kind of just doesn't do anything, in my opinion. He doesn't have enough. If you dual lane, you don't have enough levels, and then you kind of just fall off. So Winter Wyvern banned out for Slark Puckenberg, and also an Invoker ban for ValassiRaptors. I haven't seen PhD play Invoker before. Maybe it's something he does play. And Silencer ban. I don't know, man. Silencer's a bad hero. He's just straight up garbage right now. Mana costs are way too high. I think if you go Glaives level 1, it might be okay. Also, if you go for like position 5, the buy all the wards, it's he doesn't do anything other than global. Maybe like you definitely have some nice setups. For example, Batrider with Silencer is a pretty good combo, because as soon as the Batrider jumps in, uses the lasso, you just hit global silence, and there's not much that the other team can do to respond. You always want to use global silence offensively rather than defensively. But we see ValassiRaptors from Necrophos I feel like he's probably not the best against Drought Ranger. You definitely can use your Ghost Shroud to buy a bit of time, but I feel like you just eventually get slowed by the Frost Arrows and taken out. Double Reaper Scythe is on the table now. Probably going to build Atos because that's definitely one of the better items in the game right now. It gives you 12 strength from the 8 that you get from the crowns, which is pretty dope. Plus the 2 in, but the 2 in's a bit questionable. But the active is also like super good. It cancels TPs now, so yeah, it's kind of hard to justify it over Yules. Because you can actually attack them while they're stopped. You can't really attack people while they're cycling, but obviously there's different stats like the mana regen versus the strength. I just feel like Atos is it's kind of like where drums used to be a few years ago, when drums was +9 to all stats, and then everyone was buying it.
Radiant team are now picking.
So. Slark Puckenberg gonna open up with a Centaur and kind of scratch. If I'm ValassiRaptors, I'd probably be scratching my head right now. This is getting pretty rough. They don't have much catch. They haven't much ways to lock people down. Just the Dragon Tail, which is melee range, unless he's willing to commit Dragon Form. But even then, like, it's pretty small range. Necrophos, you don't want to use. Reaper Scythe as a stun, right? You want to use it to kill people. And Grimstreak doesn't really offer very much. The Stroke of Fate is okay, I guess. Sometimes we used to see we saw in the Disney Mage idea this combo here, PA and Grimstroke. So Grimstroke can max the Ink Swell, and then PA jumps in and stuns them. And I do like this PA pick, but I'm worried that they're just going to use the Centaur to run away. They're not still very little cash until PO gets an Abyssal. You might get some lucky hits with a Basher.
10 seconds to pick.
But you don't want to rely on that. And this, yeah, I feel like Slark Puckenberg, they can just run away from every fight. Once Centaur gets Ags, like there's nothing they can do. 40% damage reduction, you get to run over terrain as well. And I mean, they're just gonna be able to run with it. Maybe this DK does need a blink, but also they've ValassiRaptors, they've revealed all of their cores now, so the last pick is gonna have to be a pretty active support. Maybe it could be a mag for the mag PA shenanigans. Put Grimstroke in position 5, have the mid DK and offlane Necro, and it's like, I feel like if they went up against Centaur, this might be an okay draft, but the Centaur really like ruined their day.
Radiance ban.
It's like Puckenberg. They go for Faceless Void, interesting enough. So this is going to be a mid-drow. Interesting. I think it's okay because mid-drow is a bit of a double-edged sword. Usually what you want to do with drow is once you hit level 6, just go to the jungle and farm away for 15 minutes and come out a god. But the problem with mid-drow is this happens really early on, and then someone's going to have to go into the lane, one of the supports. So they have Jakiro, which is okay in the lane, especially from behind. You can still use that dual breath to try and secure some last hits, maybe harass the enemy mid laner a little bit. So Jakiro can probably join the mid, and they're also up against DK, so all you need to do is make sure he doesn't pressure the tower too hard with the Elder Dragon form. So just having a little bit of deep push on their support, I think this could really work out here. And the other thing is now you have to leave your either your offlaner or your carry alone while Drow's in the jungle. So like going to the jungle definitely means you have to give up a lot in the lanes, but I think they can do this. Necro against Faceless Void doesn't seem that scary for the Void. Maybe a max time lock, and then the cooldown for time walk, sorry, and the cooldown for time walk and death pulse is about the same. So 6 seconds on the time walk and 5 seconds on the death pulse. So it's pretty hard for the Necrophos to get any substantial burst damage. You can always just time walk it off once you get level 7, which is quite a while away. So definitely can see some harass early on in the Faceless Void, but once Faceless Void gets level 7, he can be left alone pretty safely. Still another hero with a nice mobility tool, so it's going to be extremely hard to kill this Faceless Void without heavy commitment. They need to get the Grimstroke to drop the waifu on Faceless Void, and then hope that he doesn't get stampeded away. So with a little bit of teamwork, Slark Puckenberg can definitely secure these lanes very confidently, and a Witch Doctor for Slark Puckenberg. And this also kind of solves the Faceless Void, leaving Faceless Void alone problem, because Centaur can definitely go it alone. It's kind of rough against this PA Grimstroke combo, but you just need levels on Centaur right at the start, and then just try and catch up later.
10 seconds.
You can always use your Stampede to get into fights aggressively. It's a little bit all in, because if it goes poorly, you have no escape plan. But if you use it for like a pick off, it's pretty nice still. So interesting that they saved the Witch Doctor for last. So Slark Puckenberg, they do ban Mag to try and stop this Mag PA combo, and Nature's Prophet banned out for ValassiRaptors, which could have been very problematic for them actually. The PA does okay, maybe the DK with a Blink or a Shadow Blade could catch up to the Nature's Prophet, but the other two don't really help against him. Well, I guess you can always drop the waifu on Nature's Prophet and he can't TP out. But I mean, PA and Grimstroke, they really do suffer against the treants from Nature's Prophet. He can just harass them out of the lane. So ValassiRaptors, they're looking for another support. Hopefully one with a little bit more stun this time, because they very desperately need it. A single target on. I think Lion could be pretty good here, but it's gonna be pretty tough. They go with Vengeful Spirit, so double magic missiles. Swap, I don't really know how that behaves, but it's also nice to have a save as well in case you're getting jumped by the Faceless Void. You get Chronoed, and Venge can always give up her life to swap you out. It's pretty nice. But I gotta definitely favor Slark Puckenberg on this one. The Centaur has just it's gonna cause so much trouble for ValassiRaptors. I don't really know how they're gonna secure these kills. It's gonna be pretty tough. Venge is also a pretty short range stun, so it's kind of difficult. But let's hop into the game. So you may notice some things are a little bit odd with the maps. For some reason it's like rendering the new map in this older version of the map, which I'm not sure how this is gonna look. I think we're gonna see people walk into trees. That's hopefully not gonna happen. So actually a quick smoke out by wait, no, this is a lot of batch, never mind.
Shall we?
Alright, well, there's a pause, luckily enough, but we can still introduce the teams to, yeah, there's a commentator in this one, and the Seb line's coming out. I don't think it's a commentator, I think it's like one of the, observers who's probably working for Lassus to spy a bit, but hopefully they have some honor. I'm gonna assume they have some honor, you know, you gotta assume good intent here. So I think that guy's leaving. So let's introduce the teams real quick. We've got Old Drippy on the Necrophase. We got New Relic on the Grimstroke, Kale on the Vengeful Spirit, Austin Sky 1 on the Phantom Assassin, and Korra on the Dragon Knight, rounding out Team Valassus. And on the side of Facebook, they're in for an early smoke. We have Tex on the Faceless Void, Drow, PhD on the Drow. We got Fruitcakes on the Centaur, Gezi on the Witch Doctor, and Chillbro Swaggins on the Jakiro. So let's see what they're gonna do with this early smoke out. I feel like maybe the level 1 cast could be pretty sweet, especially with these heroes. If you run into 2 heroes, it just feels really bad early on. So they drop an early ward in the mid lane to help out the Drow Ranger, but also the fact that they got here so quickly means that if the DK decides to drop a ward in mid, he will get spotted. So the D-ward advantage going to Facebook Slark Puckenberg. So Fruitcakes, he takes quite a few hits from the tower to stack up those retaliate stacks. He's got 7 already, and he's gonna be able to bully this PA pretty hard if he once he turns it on. It's gonna be pretty tricky. They're gonna need to try and get a good cask here. I think this is probably the way they're gonna get it. It's gonna be a tri-lane. No, sorry, it's just a DK here. What am I talking about? And Venge Necro in the top lane. He's going for the high five, but the Venge is gonna reject his calls. Meanwhile, Facebook, they've showed off they have the superior teamwork. Started the high five later. Actually, gonna be 3 bounty runes going the way of ValassiRaptors early on, because this is a pretty scary trio. Grimstroke hasn't skilled anything yet. Probably won't until PA gets at least level 2 with the Phantom Strike. He can start making moves. It's definitely possible at level 1, but it's pretty unlikely unless the Centaur puts himself in a lot of danger. Centaur doesn't have stun though, so it's not too bad. But I believe the PA is a little bit faster, especially with the Ink Spell. Maybe it's just worth putting Ink Spell at level 1. The cast range is really short, but everyone's been maxing it first in this combo. Hopefully New Relic paid attention to the major and saw that. OG ran it multiple times. They had the mag as well, but mag got banned out. Mid lane, DK versus Zhao, so this is just gonna trade farm. There's not gonna be much in the way of kills here, so very passive lane going on. This definitely favors the Drow Ranger significantly. She has pretty decent base damage now. She used to have pretty garbage base damage, but now after repeated buffs, she does hit pretty hard at level 1 with all these stat items as well, especially with the attack speed. And we're probably going to see a full farming build as well, so max precision aura first. I mean, she can definitely look for kills if she wants to, but feels like it defeats the point of the hero now. And top lane, not going to be too much happening here either, unless the Jakiro puts himself out of position. It's still even going to be pretty hard to kill the Venge. Venge is probably the most likely to die here. Pulse comes out, and another time walk to cancel it, but he time walked into a bunch of right clicks, so that always feels bad. Lost all that HP again, and we'll see the early second point in Heartstopper aura at level 2. I guess that's pretty normal. Nothing, I shouldn't have commented on it. So New Relic not pulling the wave, so Centaur and Witch Doctor are going to get a pretty juicy amount of experience here. 3 range creeps as well. A bit of a mistake, I think, from New Relic not pulling the creeps so the lane resets. And Centaur is doing pretty well up here. 14 last hits. He's using that retaliate to secure all the last hits. And it's going to be a bit of a snooze fest early on. I think there's not much kill potential from either team. The Venge is getting a little bit low. So I guess we can talk about timings a little bit. Faceless Void, we'll see what he wants to go for this game. There's a few options on the table. There's Battle Fury, there's Maelstrom and Mask of Madness, a bit of an older school build. And there's also Midas, which we might not see anymore because Midas got nerfed over and over again. But usually if you see Void going Midas, it's probably a catch-up Midas. Magic Missile onto the Faceless Void. He doesn't have Time Walk anymore, but the Necro is getting pretty low, forced to Death Pulse again, and he only has mana for like a few more. He does have the Sadist, so it's like the Heartstopper aura, so it's not too hard for him to get mana as long as he can last hit effectively. He's doing okay. And Void, he's gonna go down here, he just casually feeds, playing a little bit too aggressively. I'm not really sure what the plan was there for him. He actually got a bash as well, so it was probably the best case scenario for him, but he still just fed his life away. Jakiro gonna pick up 2 more tangos and double down on the regen in this lane a bit.
Oh, look at it go.
Cask comes out onto the PA. She's getting really low with the Maledict as well. She's taking quite a bit of beating here, but I think she'll be okay. The Tango as well. Actually, she might go down here. 1 more tick, and she goes down. Wow. Jesse gets the kill. And And 2 points in the Maledict early on, interestingly enough. I do think, I mean, if you're in a winning lane, this is definitely the build, max Maledict first. You usually only need 2 points in the paralyzing cast. More is nice, but I mean, unless you've got a nice setup with like just 2 heroes, the RNG is a little bit too wild to get anything reliable, so usually the 2 points is more than enough to at least until the mid game. So you want to focus on getting Maledict maxed out for the extra deeps. Oh. 1 second. And 5-minute bounty runes are happening now. It'll be 2 for 2, it looks like. So Centaur, he's pretty rich himself. Wonder what he's gonna go for. He's about 2/3 of the way to a Blink Dagger, because he could definitely go for a Blink Dagger first. But usually it feels pretty rough. I feel like you do need a regen item on Centaur of some kind, some health regen. He doesn't even have boots yet, but we'll see how greedy he wants to be. Drow almost level 6 now, so we'll see if Jakiro wants to go take the mid lane. It's going to be pretty tough for this Sentinel down here by... Oh, actually... I think it's going to be... Yeah, the Jakira's up here. It's going to be really tough for the Faceless Void up here right now. He can try and get a few more levels, I suppose. Maybe Drow will just end up staying here. She can always pressure the... She can actually pressure the DK now. With the marksmanships. And he gets a first hit marksmanship shot. So one thing you can do, because everything's pseudo random in Dota, it's very like, it's kind of almost not worth it, but you can count your attacks. So marksmanship has a 20% chance to proc, which means usually in 5 hits you will proc at least once. And there's still some RNG, but the RNG is kind of skewed so that every like 5 attacks you'll probably get at least one. But if you count to 5 attacks and you haven't gotten one, your next one is much more likely to be a marksmanship shot, and then if you miss that one, the next one's going to be even more likely, so that the probability sort of equalizes. And PA goes down again. This level 3 Maledict strikes back. Strikes again. But yeah, this PA in a lot of trouble now. She is very far behind the Faceless Void, actually. Actually, no, never mind. I wasn't paying attention. The Faceless Void is even more in the dumpster. This is kind of what Dota is like these days. I feel like the safe lane is super hard. It's been this way for like almost a year now. The safe lane has been super difficult since dual lanes became the norm. Oh, Witch Doctor in a lot of trouble. He can drop a Maledict at least before he dies. He salves up and he gets most of it, but Magic Missile comes out. Nice hoof stomp from the Centaur, but there's no damage yet. The Retaliate comes out, and then nice cast bounces onto the PA. PA is going to go down to the Maledict again. Actually gets chopped down by the Centaur. Another Stroke of Fate comes out onto the Centaur, but he's not going to go down. And the Grimstroke, he's getting really low. If he gets greedy and turns around, he's going to die. Alright, but he will eventually make it out. So, Faceless Void coming mid now, and we'll see where the Drought is going. Here's... yeah, sure. So Drought hitting the jungle now, and Jakiro is just going to try and buy some space here. He's got 3 points in the Dual Breath, and I do like this a lot. Just trying to stall out the lane a bit, and then just spam those Dual Breaths and then push it out so the Necro can't pressure too hard, but he ended up getting zoned out by the Necro. It's a bit unfortunate for him. Necro has level 3, so this is getting pretty scary. He's actually going for a Radiance first, which is a little bit uncommon for off-lane Necro fights. It's a little bit too greedy, and usually you want to be the one buying the aura items if you're the off-laner. But interesting, we'll see how this works out. The PA is kind of really far behind, so they might need some items to help it get back into the game, which aren't a Radiance, because it's a little bit too greedy. And Necro, he might go down here. One more Dual Breath comes out. He gets clipped by the slow, but not by the damage, so he won't go down there. A little bit unfortunate for the Jakiro. Centaur will get ink swelled, but he's gonna make it out, and the Witch Doctor in a little bit of trouble. The PA will eventually go down. Stampede forward onto the Grimstroke, and 2 chops, and he's gonna go down to the Witch Doctor. Double kill for the Witch Doctor. Good stuff from Gezi. And he's pretty rich as well. He can go for Arcane Boots now if he wants to. Probably gonna see that. And so Centaur decided to go for a Ring of Health. She's going to turn that into a hood most likely, but I guess it's pretty nice. You can use the pipe to help deal with the Reaper Scythe a little bit better for your team. Eventually, Blink Strike again from the PA, but she gets stunned. Another Maledict comes out, but after all of Centaur's damage came out, unfortunately. So she's not going to take too much. Actually, the Death Ward comes out. The PA is going to die again. She just TP'd back into the lane, so this lane is looking pretty rough for PA. She doesn't even have her phase boots complete. The Chill Burst is just going to hold the line here. He can use the Macro Pyre to stall out as well. But he needs to use the Dual Breath on the wave. I'm not really sure why. He needs to pull the Creep Wave away from the tower, so only Necrophos is hitting it. But Drow's here now. She has the silence, so she can go for it. There's nothing. The Ice Path can come out from the Jakiro. Another marksmanship shot. There's no Ghost Shroud yet, so he's just going to go down. A nice rotation from the Drow Aura, taking advantage of the Necro's greed. Probably noticed after a while that he didn't have Ghost Shroud, so just kept chasing him down. And she's also got 3 points in the Frost Arrows. He can't run away from her anymore. Gonna get the bounty in it as well.
I'll take that.
So I think it was it's 2 for 2 again. Hood now done on the Centaur. Gonna be pretty difficult to take down here. Max retaliate as well, so it might look to tank the tower a little bit, get some more retaliate stacks. So he's gonna be hitting for like 300 damage, 400 damage a pop. I can't really remember the numbers. So Magic Missile comes out, and Ink Spell from the Necrophos onto the Centaur, but they're just gonna stampede away. The waifu doesn't make it onto the Centaur in time. They're just gonna walk out of there. This is what I was talking about in the draft. It's so easy to run away from the side of ValassiRaptors. Just use the stampede and go. But maybe this is ValassiRaptors' time to strike. They need to find another rotation while the stampede is down. But stampede doesn't have a long cooldown. It's 100. I suppose 110 is quite long, but 90 maxed out. Witch Doctor getting the tome, even though he already has level 6. But wow, Jakiro is actually level 8, and I guess this is one of the benefits of running mid drow is once she leaves the lane, you're gonna have 2 more heroes getting solar XP earlier on. So the waifu comes out onto the fruitcakes and will eventually take it out. Witch Doctor, he gets the Maledict onto Vengeful Spirit, the Magic Missile comes out, and there's no follow-up anymore. The Death Ward comes out, but so does the Chronosphere, catches the Grimstroke and the Vengeful Spirit, so they're both going to go down. The Ice Path comes out, and Macropire as well, a little bit unnecessary. The Grimstroke will eventually go down. Reaper Scythe onto Fruitcakes, but he's got the hood, so he will survive it, and Necrophos ends up giving his life. Yikes, a complete disaster for Team Valassis. 1100 gold swing, 4k gold advantage for Facebook now. They're gonna look to take this bot tower. And meanwhile, DK, he's barely touched this mid tower. So it's probably his second or third dragon form by now. Just not being that active. He's actually going for a Midas. I think this is a huge mistake for him. His PA is in the dumpster. She doesn't even have phase boots yet, and it's 12 minutes into the game. She's not going to have a game. Not even level 6 yet either. So this DK and this Necro, they need to make stuff happen. Necro changing his mind, going for a Dagon. I think that makes it's a little bit better than the Radiance, but it's still not really the best choice. I do think Atos probably would have been the best one. Maybe even just going straight for like a Greaves, which would be really great for his team. DK, on the other hand, and Midas, that's not going to help at all. It means he's not going to be useful for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And I don't know if this game is going to last 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think they're going to be able to stay. This gold lead is going to get way bigger in 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, look at it go!
Witch Doctor having a great game. Yeah, so does his Centaur. He's pretty high up in the net worth chart. Void has managed to catch up pretty nicely as well. He's going to go for Mask of Madness. We'll probably see the Maelstrom after this. It's a bit of an older school build on Faceless Void, I think. But it is a good one still. Alright, well the Necro, he has Reaper Scythe again, so they don't really have a whole lot of burst damage. Maybe they can The DK, he maxed Dragon's Blood as well. He wasn't even being pressured that hard. I'm not sure why he maxed Dragon's Blood. You really only need 2 points in it in the laning phase. 6 armor is plenty. And Necker will go down. He gets Chrono and Death Ward, so it's a pretty painful death for him. Fruitcake's just playing with his food at bot. PA is level 6 now, but it's she's gotten nerfed a lot. 200% crit. It's like barely better than Jug's passive. So Macapire will come out, misses the ice one. Actually, the DK walks directly back into it. The PA gotta go down. He gets stampeded, and Drow will just machine gun her down. Drow actually going for an Axe. It's not really that great of an item on her. It does help her farm faster, but she already farms plenty fast. And usually get Axe when you want to deal with illusions, but I mean, it's like, I feel like this Drac can do whatever she wants this game, honestly. She doesn't need to build any defensive items because they always have the Stampede to protect her. So, might as well go for a little bit more of a glass cannon build. Maybe we'll see the Tesla Ranger come out with the Mjolnir afterwards as well. Just pure lightnings.
Radiant has lost their top tower. Radiant have fortified their towers.
So, Facebook will get the top tower, and they also Velasas managed to get the mid tower pretty uncontested. They're gonna get the T2 uncontested as well. This Dragon Form is actually doing a lot of work. Interesting. I feel like Facebook could definitely fight here. They don't have Chronosphere, so maybe that's what they're afraid of. So they're gonna go for a Maelstrom next. He has money for the Javelin. You should probably go for it. It's a pretty good item on Faceless Void. Another Time Walk out, and he's out of there. Not much catch from the side of Velasas. So PA gotta go straight for a Deso. It's too late for a Battle Fury right now. This is probably her best chance at like having less than 0 impact. More than 0 impact, sorry. Well, Centaur, he's got a Blink now. Blink Stomp onto the PA. The Maledict comes out with the Cask. PA will eventually go down to the Maledict. So, unstoppable for Witch Doctor. This is a pretty great game for him. He's going for a Midas as well. He's trying to get as much farm as possible. He's gonna get to level 15 pretty fast for the bonus gold, and then just pick up an Aghanim Scepter and destroy everyone. It's usually the play on Witch Doctor.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Drow done with her Ags as well, so her farm is, so she's already well above everyone else on the enemy team, but she's just gonna be able to farm faster. So I do believe you can marksmanship proc on the Splinters. They have their own roles, so regardless of what the main shot does, the Splinters can also marksmanship proc independently. So if she's lucky, she can kill the entire creep wave in 1 hour, and that'd be pretty sick. But pretty unlikely, thanks to the pseudo randomness. Oh, Drippy, he's done with his Dagon 1, but he decides to go for Radiance again. And PA will go down again, just being killed right in front of her base. The Venge not able to save her. She was pretty doomed anyway with the Maledict. Not much he can do. And gonna take this mid tower on Slark Puckenberg.
No more middle tower for Radiant.
And PhD, he's gonna pick up this haste rune, and he's gonna be pretty scary, right? He can play aggressively if he wants to, but looks like they're not going to. They have the Chronosphere as well in the Faceless Void. He's almost got Maelstrom. I got mixed up there. But probably just gonna wait for these items to finish. The pipe on the Centaur gonna be pretty huge. No one's gonna die to Reaper Scythe anymore. And the Maelstrom for the extra damage output on the Faceless Void. Drow, she's going for a BKB next, but they probably don't need to wait for it. And Witch Doctor going to go for an Axe. I swear he just picked up the Midas, and now he's got a point booster already. This boy is farmed. DK gotta go for a Shadow Blade now, but I would have liked to see this,
Oh, look at it go.
you know, 5 minutes ago. That would have been pretty nice. Forced to pop Dragon Form. So they're just gonna run away on Team Facebook, and they can't catch up because if PA blinks in, they're just gonna stampede out of there. Smoke up from Velasas. It is 20 minutes is coming up, so the barriers are coming up. Jakiro not dropping an ice path down the hole. The double swap comes forward. They need to both run the nice 5-man ice path, but the Reaper Scythe will finish off the Jakiro, and they smoked for just a Jakiro. Let's see if doesn't look like Velasas want to pursue for any more. The Jakiro definitely could have just ice path down the line here and stunned all of them and gotten away, but not reacting fast enough. They were also smoked, so maybe he just didn't see it. It's also nighttime. Alright, well, Venge spots out the Faceless Void. I'm not sure if Faceless Void saw him. The magic missile come out, and now Venge has nothing to protect herself. Nice. The Kratos Speed comes out before the waifu catches the Faceless Void, so he won't be silenced, and he gets a double kill with the Maelstrom reveal with the Mask of Madness, dealing a lot of DPS. So, and Dragon Knight goes down in the meantime as well. Pretty easy kill with the Blink Hoof Stomp.
I'll take that.
Could be 2 for 2 bounty runes again. But Facebook, they can take the mid tower if they want right now. There's also this double edge immortal. It's pretty cool. So Faceless Void probably gonna go for his own BKB next, so he can just run in with Chronosphere and just instantly wipe out the enemy team. Drow almost done with her BKB. We'll see how fast she farms this camp. Look at that go. He just instantly exploded. And Centaur gonna go for a Blade Mail now, so just gonna be a nuisance. If you target the Centaur, you're just gonna kill yourself, especially on the PA. When she crits the Blade Mail, it's gonna be pretty rough. So Drow has money for a BKB now. Centaur, he can just walk out of here. There's no like ATOS or anything. I think they really needed an ATOS this game on the Necro. PA is almost done with a Deso. She might be able to kill the Witch Doctor pretty fast, and Jakiro as well. But everyone else is going to be pretty tanky for her to go through. So hopefully she can focus on eliminating the backlines and hopefully not instantly die to Drow. And Drow, with the marksmanship, goes through evasion as well, because piercing armor wasn't enough, clearly. Centaur gonna go for a Halberd next, just to ruin this PA's life a little bit more. Blink Hoof Stomp from the Centaur, and Venge gonna slowly die a horrible death here, gets maledicted, and this Witch Doctor is attacking very fast with the Drow Aura, picks up the 75 damage talent as well. It's always great to play with the Drow Ranger and get damage talents. So Faceless Void almost done with his BKB as well. Should probably look to get it and then get Roshan and then push down the lanes. It's a pretty easy game plan for Facebook at this point. 17k gold ahead. Their win rate is steadily approaching 100%. PG is just gonna take out the Drow by herself. She's got these this illusion rune to tank for the. So thankfully, illusion runes were changed against Roshan. The stampede by the Centaur, and he gets stunned, so he's gonna get taken out by the death by the Reaper's side. And Witch Doctor, he's gonna feed his life away as well. But Space was created. Drow has the Aegis now, but she's in a lot of trouble. I don't know why she walked up that hill. The Venge could definitely go for a swap, but gotta get instantly taken out before he can do that. The DK is up close though, so the marksmanship's gonna get cancelled. And nice Chrono speed comes out for the Faceless Void, catching the two heroes, and they're going to get instantly taken out by the Drow and the Faceless Void. Faceless Void, he's looking to pursue here. He definitely can. Venge brought back for this, but she might die here as well. The Faceless Void, she's going to spot the Venge, and he just time walk forward. She does have the magic missile, so it's going to be kind of difficult to get it, and he's going to back out. But Necro and the Dragonite died, overextending, chasing the Drow Ranger, so I guess it was a bait for the from the Drow Ranger. I don't believe it was intentional, but we'll give her credit. Give him credit. The PhD. Drow does push the wave a lot faster with the marksmanship now. Oh, sorry, with the Aghanims. 20-minute bounty runes, all 4 going the way of Facebook, and this is looking grimmer by the minute for Valassis. Kind of need to go for like a desperation spike. The Necro almost has Radiance, but these heroes all have BKB now and don't care about the Radiance. And Centaur has enough magic resistance that he straight up doesn't care. It's 56% magic resistance. He's got the pipe to buff up his team as well. The Faceless Voice still doesn't have Chrono, so they probably don't want to fight here. Yule's done on the Jakiro now, so it gets get a lot easier ice path. He's going for Ags himself. Ags is like straight up not a good item on. Oh, actually, sorry, hang on, I got mixed up. I think Ags is okay on Jakiro, but they don't need it this game. I feel like it's better from like if you need to defend and stall, but and on the aggressive, it's probably not that good. You could always drop it during a siege though, so that's probably one offensive application. Defending the Roche Pit as well, just dropping the Macropia, and it lasts for years. So I guess like there's definitely situational uses, but I don't think it's worth the cost. Maybe in 7.22 with the Aghanim Scepter consumables from Roshan, it might be worth it to give it to the Jakiro, but again, it just feels like there are better heroes to give it to. The Grimstrike, Blink will stop forward, and he'll get instantly blown up. But get killed now for the Faceless Void, who was doing really badly at the start. He was having a pretty rough lane.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Actually fell behind the PA somehow. But looks like there's going to be a bit of a base trade going on here. But the Jakiro, he can just drop a Macropia, and the creep wave is going to get taken out, and backdoor protection is going to be available in 15 seconds. So yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I love about Jakiro is just doing that kind of play. We did see an offensive fort from the ValassiRaptors. Maybe that could have been a chance for them to try and get something out of it. Instead, they TP'd back really late and didn't end up getting anything in return for losing their racks. So, a bit of indecision, I think. Halberd now done on the Centaur. So PA's life is going to be completely miserable. Very far away for a BKB as well. Mjolnir coming out next on the Faceless Void. He's pretty close. Less than 1,000 gold. He probably doesn't need a safer buyback at this point. They're so far ahead, and the side of ValassiRaptors, they don't push that fast. The DK is great at sieging, but he doesn't push very fast. PA is pretty terrible at pushing, but she does have a Deso, so it's going to help her team a little bit. And I suppose this Radiance Necro is, she just finished it up as well with plus 30. He does hit fairly hard, but his attack speed is kind of low.
Illusion.
Ag's now done on the Witch Doctor, on his way to his own BKB. See if Jakiro's got the point boost now. It's going to be really hard to take him out as well. 1700 HP. His supports are pretty tanky. I mean, against Necro, like, you just have to get them to half health. But with the pipe, they're going to have to get them a lot lower than expected. not seeing the max ink swell from Grimstroke either. They did get completely destroyed in lane, so I wouldn't put it past him just to ignore it. But not even trying for the combo. Maybe he could have got a PA back into the game once she hit level 6 and get a nice ink swell PA combo off.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
So the last outer tower goes down for ValassiRaptors. So they have 0 map control. All they have is this one ward, which there is a sentry right next to it. Drought instantly taking out this wave. She's got an MKB as well. Extra deeps, more proc chances. Everyone always wants that. It's a bit of a wonky Drow Ranger build. Maybe she should have just gone for Butterfly instead of MKB. Neko, he's in a little bit of trouble here. Doesn't have an easy way out. He didn't buy a TP at the shop either. He's going to turn off his Radiance, so they won't be able to track him. So Ultrappy will be able to get out. He can't stay too long though. He's got to keep his Radiance off. If he just decides to turn it back on, Drow is going to show herself in a little bit, and Neko, he can just TP out of here if he goes to the shop. He's going to buy one now. See if he's going to try and get any more information. He can't show himself as otherwise a Centaur will just blink in and kill him. So Drippy stuck here for a little bit, maybe looking to cut the next wave, but he's just going to TP out, so me not having the cojones to stay a little bit longer. He probably could have cut the next wave and made it out safely. Just spam it down with the Death Pulse and the Radiance. It would have made this defending this push a lot easier. There's 2 siege creeps here now, so it doesn't look like Facebook is interested in going for this push though. They probably want to wait for the next Roshan. It's quite a while away. May spawn in 30 seconds, and then there's a 0 to 3 minutes afterwards where he can spawn. Very convincingly 100% thanks to Gaben. BRB restroom break. Oh geez. Okay, well we're going in fast forward mode here. I think this game is probably not going to last too much longer, as the spoilers point out. Alright, here we go.
Where were we? Radiant was pushing, or was it? Okay, never mind. Everyone just
I don't have quite the patience right now. He's still in the bathroom apparently. Jeez. Just play from the bathroom. What do you mean Facebook doesn't have the technology? Alright. Okay. Times 8. We must go faster. Oh, here we go. The double tome on Grimstroke. Let's get a lot of levels off this. No, that's gonna... We need some extra points in X-Spell is nice, I guess. Hit level 14. And Butterfly now done on Drow Ranger, so might as well finish off the Hurricane Pike next. It's gonna be her last item. Maybe a Moon Shard. BT is level 2. The Dagon and Reaper Scythe onto the Witch Doctor, but not gonna be that effective. TA blinks in aggressively, but gets taken out, and a Splitter Shot is going to take everyone out. Ultra kill for PhD, and GG is finally called. That was a... I'm glad I didn't sit through that bathroom break. Would have been here for a very disappointing return to the game. So... Drow Ranger getting beyond godlike. Where are your teammates? Ah. I feel like they could have used the voice lines a bit earlier there. So a pretty dominant display from Slark Puckenberg, but there is one more game at least, so there's a best of 3. We'll hopefully see if ValassiRaptors have learnt their lesson and not built too greedy of items. The PA was completely out of the game from the get-go, so pretty minimal impact from her overall, but the Necro and the Dragon Knight could have definitely tried to buy some space for the PA. The Midas, not really recommended when you're behind, and definitely not the Radius when you're behind. Did go for a Dagon, but didn't get anything out of it. Like, I didn't see a single Dagon kill. In fact, they didn't get any kills after probably the when was the last kill? I don't even remember them getting kills in the last like 30 minutes of the game. But anyway, we'll see you in game 2.